Hi, my name is Itika, and today we're talking about the Code on Social Security 2020. The code replaces 9 existing acts. Social Security is a key part of labor laws and it ensures protective measures for workers like health insurance, maternity benefit, and pension. The code retains some of the provisions of the existing acts. Benefits like the Employee Provident Fund and the Employee State Insurance Scheme will be mandatory for organizations above a certain size. This threshold can be modified by the government through notification. The code also retains multiple organizations for the administration of the different schemes. In addition to merging the provisions of the 9 acts, the code also makes some changes. One of the key changes being made by the Code on Social Security is that it introduces and defines gig and platform workers. It further empowers the central and state governments to notify specific schemes to provide them social security benefits like disability cover and life cover alongside unorganized workers. Under the code, the central government will also set up a social security fund to provide welfare to unorganized gig and platform workers.
The schemes for platform and gig workers specifically will be funded through contributions of the central and state governments as well as aggregators such as ride sharing services and food and grocery delivery services. Any contribution from such an aggregator may be at a rate notified by the government falling between 1 to 2% of the annual turnover, but not more than 5% of the amount paid or payable by an aggregator to gig workers and platform workers.
One issue to note, there are overlaps in the definitions of gig, platform, and unorganized worker.
Consider a self employed plumber. He makes a living through fees he collects from residents in a colony. He is also registered on a home repair services app and regularly services requests through the platform. In such a scenario, according to the definitions under the code, he may qualify as an unorganized gig and platform worker. With such overlap across definitions, it is unclear how schemes specific to these categories of workers will apply.
The code requires workers, including unorganized workers, to furnish their Aadhaar details to claim Social Security benefits or take services from a career center. This may violate the Supreme Court's Puttaswamy judgment, in which the court had held that Aadhaar can be made mandatory only in cases of a subsidy or a benefit being incurred from the Consolidated Fund of India.
Gratuity today is paid to employees for continuous service of employment for 5 or more years in an organization. The code extends it to fixed term employees who will be entitled to the benefit on a prorated basis even if the period of the fixed term contract is less than 5 years. But as per the Industrial Relations Code, fixed term employees will be eligible for gratuity if they render service under the contract for 1 year.
Since the two codes contain different provisions regarding gratuity for fixed-term employees, it is unclear whether or not a fixed-term employee with a contract of less than 1 year will be entitled to gratuity benefits under the Code on Social Security. In place of the Employment Exchanges Act, the bill adds a chapter on employment information and monitoring.
Instead of employment exchanges, the code proposes career centers to provide career services to job seekers and employers and those looking for vocational guidance, career counseling, or guidance to start self employment. The code also requires certain employers to report vacancies in their establishments, which will be notified by the government.
A full analysis of the code is linked in the description below. Watch the other videos in this series to know more about the labor codes.